Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
I believe that we should introduce articles of impeachment. This is a very sad day, I think, for our country. It's something that I would hope we could have avoided, but the president's actions made it necessary. You cannot violate the Constitution in full view. The facts are clear. They were presented by the people who had access to the situation. Facts are clear. The Constitution is clear. The president violated the Constitution. And so I think it is important for us to proceed. If we were not to proceed, it would say to any president, any future president, whoever she or he may be, Democratic or Republican, that our democracy is gone. The president is king. He can do whatever he wants in violation of the law, in ignoring the acts of Congress, undermining our system of checks and balances.
See, that's the issue, right? Isn't that the issue? The issue is that in clear, plain sight, Donald Trump breaks the law, admits to breaking the law. Rudy Giuliani breaks the law, tweets that he's still breaking the law. And it is our job to say that you can't break the law. And it's really that simple, that the president is inviting foreign help into our elections again, that Rudy Giuliani, idiot boy, is in Ukraine right now doing exactly what the quid pro quo is. Telling Ukraine, he tweeted this yesterday, he was tweeting to the United States of America, and he was telling the people in America that he was over in Ukraine shaking down dirty Ukrainian prosecutors, dirty Ukrainian KGB agents in Ukraine, that he was sitting with them and tweeting out pictures of him sitting with them in order to get dirt on Biden, which is the quid pro quo. So, I mean, listen, I'm just glad Rudy is not under investigation for murder. I'm glad the president isn't under investigation for murder, or else they would go on a killing spree to prove that they're not murderers. This is mass madness, I mean, here you have an allegation that corruption in Ukraine meant to the president the Bidens. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But now you have Rudy in Ukraine trying to dig up dirt on the Bidens. And if that seems insane to you, it's because you're not Rudy Giuliani. If it seems insane to you, it's because you're not Donald Trump. It even seems insane to Matt Gaetz, who said last night it was weird that Rudy Giuliani was in Ukraine.
Let's deal with the new fact. Rudy Giuliani, we presumptively now, in Ukraine, meeting with people. You can talk about the company that he's keeping. I'm not really that interested in it. But he puts out a tweet that says what's on the screen. If you can't see it, I'll read it right now. He says, Schiff's impeachment is a farce because, one, there was no military aid withheld.
Oh, my God.
Two, the conversation about corruption in Ukraine was based on compelling evidence of criminal conduct by then VP Biden in 2016 that has not been resolved, and until it is, will be a major obstacle to the U.S. assisting Ukraine with its anti-corruption reforms. Congressman, is Rudy Giuliani saying, if it wasn't clear enough already, if Ukraine doesn't do what we want on corruption, which is Biden, as is clear in his tweet,
right,
you're not getting help from the U.S.?
I think it's fair to say that you've got to engage in anti-corruption efforts in order to get anti-corruption assistance. But I'll be honest with you, Chris. I think it's a little weird that Rudy Giuliani's over in the Ukraine right now. And I'm not here to defend Rudy Giuliani. There's apparently an investigation going on, and that'll go where it goes. But the Rudy Giuliani I know is the Rudy Giuliani who fought the mob when it wasn't a popular thing to do. He's someone who put his life on the line in 9/11. And so if there's anyone that ought to maybe get the benefit of the doubt, it would probably be Mayor Giuliani.
I don't think Giuliani's the problem. It's who sent him, Congressman. Who's paying him?
Hello.
Why is he there? If this is just a logical extension of foreign policy, as you guys argue all this was about, then why is Mayor Giuliani involved at all?
I don't know.
You must
say
know,
that I take
because
good
you need to argue
testimony.
it to defend the president. You must know.
Yes, you must know. You have to have the answer to that question, Matt Getz from Florida. You must have the answer to that question. Now, I will tell you that Rudy Giuliani yesterday tweeted out that that the trip that he was on to deal with these dirty Ukrainians, and I'll tell you who these dirty Ukrainians are. One is a KGB agent. Seriously, went to KGB school in Moscow and is the father of a murderer. And the others, one other one that he met with just got arrested today. I mean, listen, this is so sick, but Rudy Giuliani made the direct connection between Donald Trump and himself in this tweet. He called the trip to Ukraine to dig up dirt on the Bidens, quote, work being done by a lawyer defending his client. So he's saying that Donald Trump is his client. So that's important. Okay? And the other part of his tweet said, and this is devastating, this might be his insurance policy, quote, the president of the United States, I can tell you this, is asking for this. So that is a direct connection between the White House, the president of the United States, and Rudy Giuliani, who is meeting with some of the most corrupt Ukrainians from the old regime. He had a confab yesterday, and he's been tweeting out photographs with a pro-Russian Ukrainian member of parliament named Andriy Derkach. He is a former member of Viktor Yanukovych's Party of Regions. He insists that Paul Manafort was set up, right? And also a guy named Kulyk, Konstantin Kulyk, who is also a notorious corrupt Ukrainian official. Obviously, he's meeting with Mr. Lutz, and he's meeting with Viktor Shokin. And he's tweeting out these photographs of himself. He has an active interest in doing the quid pro quo. He is literally tweeting out, hey, Ukraine, no assistance by order of the president. The president is asking for this unless you announce an investigation into the Bidens ahead of the 2020 election. What is wrong with this man? Again, let's just be grateful I don't know what it is. Are they just being in your face? Or can't they stop themselves from committing crime? I don't know. But there is a photo yesterday of Rudy with a Ukrainian stooge named Andrei Derkach, whose father is a murderer. And Andrei attended KGB school, seriously, the KGB School of Higher Learning or whatever they call it. And he has an ultra serious, I have the goods. You know, here's the smoking gun face, right? He's sitting there. And he looks like one of those lunatics holding up like a Bigfoot poop that he found in the woods as evidence that Bigfoot exists. Do you know? I mean, it's so either they're living in a fantasy world, him and Trump, or the enough of the Republican base is living in a fantasy world that it's okay for them to pretend it's real. I don't know if they've done so much disinformation that they believe their own disinformation, but this is like fantasy paradise where Rudy and Donald are, revered as gods. This world of disinformation. I mean, this is like their fantasy world. Okay, you want to hear what their fantasy world is? The streets are clean because Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi have cleaned them with a toothbrush by order of the president of the United States. I mean, this is sick. This is really twisted.